Hello and welcome back to another video on the Pawsome Stamps YouTube channel. This is Candace, and today I have a card inspired by our monthly challenge at Pawsome Stamps. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by ink blending on an A2 size card panel, and I'm using a bunch of distress inks in colors inspired by this month's color palette at Pawsome Stamps. So I have Salvage Patina, Peacock Feathers, Salty Ocean, Mermaid Lagoon, Wilted Violet, Villainous Potion, and Seedless Preserves. I also have Dusty Concord, but I didn't end up using that one. And as you can see, I'm coming in with my little finger brushes, and this by no means has to be perfect because a lot of this is going to get covered up. So I know it looks like a bit of a hot mess, but stick with me because it will look really good in the end. For this technique, you could also apply ink directly to the paper from your stamp pad, or you could do watercolor, but I really like the way that the ink blending looks in the end. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to come in with the vitamin C stamp set, and I'm going to use the three little mermaid tails from it and arrange those along the side of my card panel. And I'm going to stamp these all along the edge. So I have quite a few tails, and I decided that it would be a good idea to make a template on just another size of A2 cardstock, just because I didn't want to mess up my background after I had done all of that work ink blending it. So there's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting them. I just want to get a lot of good coverage so that my tails cover most of the card panel. So once I have my template done, I can use that for future cards too. But I kind of line up my tails with the template, and then I put my background that I ink blended over top. And that way I can arrange the tails without having to clean them off, because I don't care if my template gets a little bit of ink sponges on it. And it's also going to make sure that they're in the right spot when I'm stamping it on my ink blended background. So I always try and do techniques like this, so I don't mess up my backgrounds that I've spent a lot of time on, especially if I'm doing like Copic coloring. Once I'm done all of my background stamping, we are going to move on to the part of this that makes the background really come alive. So all I'm doing is coloring around my stamped images with a black marker. I am using an alcohol-based marker, but you could use any sort of black marker that you have available. And I love the way that this really makes those stamped images pop. And this is a technique that you could use for any of your stamped images, especially if you don't particularly like Copic coloring or want to make a card a little bit faster. This part where I colored in all the black only took me about 10 minutes. And again, this card and the color scheme was inspired by our Pawsome Stamps challenge, which you can still enter. All you have to do is make a card or a project using Pawsome Stamps products and post it to Instagram using the Pawsome Stamps challenge hashtag by June 29th. And I'll link to the post that has all of the details down below in the comments. So once that is done, I'm going to come in with my "We Were Made to Be Friends" sentiment, and I'm just going to white heat emboss that on some black cardstock. And once that is done, I'm just going to cut it out using a rectangle and then add some embellishments. These are the mermaid tail embellishments, which are so perfect for this card, but I ended up changing my mind and using the blue skies ones because I wanted the iridescent sort of sparkle that kind of captures all of the colors in the light. So there we have the final card. As always, we appreciate the time that you spend here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any inspiration from the design team. And I will see you in another video. Bye!